I look so scary. Okay. Hi guys. Today I am without a wig because it's kind of hot, and also I opened the windows because it's kind of hot. And today I'm back with a kind of what's on my phone video, but I won't be going through every single one of my apps because pretty much all of the apps are the same. And if you're interested in that, you can go watch my previous two what's on my iPhone video. They're all made in the same year, but I don't know why my phone gone through so much changes. But yeah, today I'm gonna be showing you what's on my phone after I updated to the iOS 14 beta. So Apple came out with a new iOS maybe June or something, I don't remember, but they came out with a beta, the developers beta, and then I installed it immediately. So I've been using this beta for maybe 1 to 2 months. So I have some thoughts, and in general I do really like this beta, so I will just be showing you how I've been using my phone after this beta. And when it comes out in September publicly, you guys will know what to expect and you can just use it. My lock screen is of me and my sister. When you swipe over here, you see a lot of widgets, some new things. Actually, I'll go to the edit to show you. I don't know if you can hear me, I'm scared. So I'll show you. You go into the editing thing, you'll see a lot of options for widgets, and this is one of the most notable features of iOS 14 is that you can have widgets in your homepage now. They have 3 sizes, so this is one of the 3 sizes. This is the smallest one, this is the second one. For the biggest one, it looks like this. You can obviously place them in this page, but you can also place it in this page. And for the old widgets, they will all be on the bottom, which is kind of sad because they're not in the same design. So hopefully when the public version of iOS 14 comes out, the apps will update, then we'll have the consistent design of the widgets, which will be very fun because the only widgets that are available are the Apple ones. So it's kind of not fun because it's limited. You know, I like to test out a lot of things. I like to go through a lot of things, but right now there's not a lot of stuff to go through. So anyway, in my home screen, I have this second largest calendar widget, which shows the entire month. And on the left side here, it shows what events will happen. I planned on this day, which is very good because I always forget what day of the month it is. What day of the week, what day of the month, or I would want to see, like, for example, what day of the week the 13th is. So I would like to have this information readily available in my home screen, because if I were to check in the iOS 13, I would have to pull down the notification, and then I would see this, and then I would be like, oh, so today is Saturday, so the 13th is whatever. Or I would have to open the calendar app, but with this I can just see it and I don't have to press into anything, so it's cool. When I swipe it, it shows music. So we have the last song that I listened to and 4 most recent albums that I listened to. These are the music, and when I click on it, it will open that album, so I can just listen to that. Then for the next one, I have the world clock because I am terrible at math, and even though I try to remember the time differences between different countries, I find it kind of hard. And because a lot of my audience on YouTube are from America, so I try to tell myself, or at least try to know what time it is in America, so I will update it according to the time. I try to at least, most of the time I don't, but I also have the time of Seoul and London, York, apart from LA. This widget, the thing I think is very cool is that it can rotate, you can switch between the app. Let me show you how to add a widget on there. Do this, and then maybe I want to check the battery in my widgets. So I look for the size and I hold it, and then I will drag it on top, and then it's in the stack now. You can see by the indication 4 dots here. I don't know if you can tell, but there are four dots there. So now it's in that stack. But what's cool is that you can turn on and off Smart Rotate. So it will rotate to the widget that it thinks is most useful to you throughout the day. So maybe you tend to listen to music the most in the morning when you commute to work, so it will rotate to the music one in the morning, so it's more convenient. And at night you want to charge all your devices, so it will show the batteries widget, which I think it's pretty cool. You don't have to care, you don't have to think about it, which if you're using Android, don't at me, but this is one of the things I like about Apple, because when they introduced widgets in iOS 14, people were like, oh my god, you're copying Android. Android had widgets for ages now, but the thing thing about Apple is that a lot of times they try something that has been done before, they nail it on the first try, which is very nice. I think this is kind of good if I were to suggest some more things that would improve widgets. It would be to like be able to interact with it more, because now when you click on it, like for example when I click on music, it only like opens the app, which is kind of dumb. Like if I could just play it straight from the widget instead of having to go into the app, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of a widget, to be honest. So if I could do that, it'd be awesome. And then on here I have a smaller widget, which is the photos. Here's a picture of my sister breaking down, crying in the middle of the street. So Siri will analyze your library and suggest some like meaningful, memorable photos to feature on the home screen. So when I open my phone, I can see the picture. So on this widget, I don't have the smart rotate thing because I would always like to see a nice picture of my family, myself, my friends, whatever. My sister and Faggy, me and my sister, Faggy, my sister, me and my sister, me, my sister, my dad, my sister. Yeah, so it suggests photos, but sometimes it suggests really random photos, so I would have to like manually remove them from the featured photos, but whatever. It's still a fun feature to have. Like it brings me so much joy because I have a lot of my baby photos from when I literally am a baby, and I imported them to my iCloud, so they literally have the correct date. So when, say for example, I went to the beach on the 8th of August, like today, when I was like 5, and it will suggest that day to me because it was exactly this day like 10 years ago. It's kind of fun like looking back, and then I always send the photos to my family and show them like, oh my god, time flies. So yeah, this is a fun feature to have, kind of good. They also have a gigantic one, which I was also kind of tempted to use, but I think it's kind of too big. These are the widgets, one of my favorite things in this update. And then as you can see, I only have one home page, which is also another like gigantic update in this new iOS. I have a new thing called the app library, so you don't have to show all of your home screens. So back in the iOS 13 days, I always like to keep a sort of like home screen thing because I want to keep all my apps on one page and I don't have to flip between pages, and I can just hide all of my non-frequently used app on the other page. But now, as you can see, there are 2 pages on there. Those are my past 2 pages. I unchecked one, so it only shows 1 page on here. And then when I swipe over, it shows the app library. It only shows the app library. So the first 2 folders are the content in it will always change. So recently added is obviously the apps that you recently downloaded or re-downloaded, and then suggestions are based on your usage and the time of the day, or maybe you just downloaded that app and Siri wants to ask if you want to use that app, whatever. They group the other apps by category. The most frequent ones will be on top, so I use social and entertainment apps the most frequent, so they're on top. And then in each folder they will have 3 most recent apps that you've used in that category, and then the other apps you can just click into and then you can see them. That is that for app library. They also came up with a new function that I think is pretty cool, but I don't think a lot of people are going to use it, but I personally would love to use it. I mean, I've been using it for a long time since I was able to. When it came out, it was only available on iPhone 10 or up, but I believe now it's also available from iPhone 8, so y'all should try this. So as you know, I'm a tiny person, I have tiny hands, so it gets a little bit hard when I want to like reach for the notification center or control center with one hand. So you see me struggling and my phone will drop, so it's not a fun time. But they introduced a new thing called back tap. So basically if you tap the back of your phone twice, it activates a function, and if you tap your phone thrice, it can also activate another function, and you can set it to whatever you want. I believe, let's go through it actually. It's in accessibility and then touch and then back tap. So I set the double tap to notification center and the triple tap to control center, but these are all the things you can do. Like you can set it to open an app when you triple tap, you can set it to invert, you can set it to lock screen, whatever. If you have trouble reaching some of the apps or you just want to have access to a shortcut very quickly without talking to Siri, that's kind of a fun time. So if you have tiny hands like I have, you can just use this to access your control center or notification center. But I noticed that it's not as sensitive as I would want it to be. Sometimes it doesn't detect your taps, sometimes it detects more taps than you intended. So it's kind of annoying. I hope they fix it in the future, but it's kind of mind-blowing that when I got this phone, they didn't like introduce this function and only introduced this when iOS 14 came out, because it's always been there and it's activated by a software update. Like, I just don't know how the hardware works. I'm just kind of dumb. So those are the features of iOS 14 that I've been using in my day-to-day life. But for more like detailed information and explanation of all the features, you can go to a tech channel or just go to Apple's website to like look for it, because I'm not like a tech genius. I don't know about these stuff a lot. I just am passionate about it and I'm like sharing what I appreciate from this update. Ooh, look at the sun. Okay, whatever. So that's it for the iPhone.